Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The Public Service Union has given notice to the management of the Argyle International Airport, AIA, of planned industrial action by its members over outstanding retroactive payments. The Public Service Union, PSU, has given the management of the Argyle International Airport, AIA, 2 weeks to pay its staff outstanding retroactive payments, or they will embark on a 2-day industrial action. President of the PSU, Elroy Boucher, told SVG-TV News that they have engaged the AIA on the retroactive payments for a period of 4 years and they are yet to be settled.
Ask them to fulfill their obligations, that is, pay the workers their increments as promised. The AIA stated to us first that they could not afford to pay the increments, and we approached them in 2020. They said that they could not afford to pay the increments. We said, okay, fine. If you can't afford to pay the increments for 2016, 17, 18, and 19, why not just pay the increment for 2019 alone and forget about the other years? They agreed. So that increment was paid in January of 2023. Now, to our amazement, the increment was paid, yes, the 1.5%, but it was not made retroactive. But clearly, if you are paying an increment in 2023 that was due in 2019, that same payment has to be applied to the 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 salary. So there has to be a retroactive component to the payment. We have tried numerous times, different meetings, writing many letters to try and get them to fulfill their obligations and pay the retroactive component of the increment. They have flatly refused. The board has refused, past board have refused, present board have refused, past CEO have refused, present acting CEO has refused.
Boucher said the PSU members at AIA have been doing appraisals as is expected and have been doing well on the job and need their payments.
In their policy manual, it is stated that wage salary increments will be paid to employees subject to satisfactory performance under the AIA Performance Review Program. However, there has been no such payments made since the inception of the AIA. And since the inception of the AIA, performance appraisals have been done, and workers have been doing these appraisals, and they have been working really hard and which resulted in satisfactory appraisals.
The PSU president said since all talks have failed and the management of the AIA has not taken them seriously, the union met with its members last week and agreed to take industrial action in 2 weeks' time if the retroactive payments are not made.
The workers decided that they will take industrial action, and so the union have proceeded to write the AIA, giving them 2 weeks from March 25th to settle the outstanding retroactive payments. If those payments are not settled, 2 weeks from the 25th, which will take us about the 15th of April, roundabout there, the workers will proceed to take industrial action, and these actions will be taken on a Monday or a Wednesday on a date of our choosing. I am hoping that the AIA will understand that it is important not to deprive workers of what they have worked so hard for. They have worked and they have built the organization. They have worked tirelessly. They have heard the Prime Minister himself speaking about how hard these workers have worked. They have performed well, and so they ought to be given what is theirs. We hope that they can settle this, good sense can prevail, and they can avert industrial action by paying as the retroactive component of their increments.
The AIA on February 14th this year celebrated 7 years of operation. Since the start of the Promoting Youth Micro Enterprises or PRIME program in 2020, More than 1,400 Vincentians have reportedly benefited from grants. In his independence speech in October last year, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves announced that 40 more Prime recipients would receive grants. On radio last evening, Finance Minister Camilo Gonsalves said from then to now, more persons have received Prime grants and more are likely to be given out once persons satisfy the eligibility criteria.
That was the end of October. They got their money end of November into December. Then we did a small payout in February. And then we will do another payout right about now, end of March, middle April. And what we're trying to do for the remainder of the year is pay a prime group of 20 to 40 or so every other month. And so prime is continuing, but we're going to have those announcements coming up in the next couple weeks, I would say. But the prime program continues because that's one of the transformative programs that we have, and over 1,400 Vincentians have already benefited from prime.
The finance minister said adjustments are to be made to the program and the public will be informed on the changes in a few months' time. Minister Gonsalves said concessions have also been given out for tour buses and for taxis, which is another opportunity for persons to improve their livelihood.
The Prime Minister mentioned somebody's bringing in 6, 9, another person just brought in 2. They're getting the duty-free concessions quietly, you know. You're hearing people talking about who ain't getting through and this and that and the other, but people are applying and getting these concessions because they see the opportunities in the tourism sector. When somebody jumps out ahead and puts their money in an investment, you want to get vexed with that person. No, you can't get vexed. And when you see those new taxis lined up at AIA, don't get vexed with the fellas who went to the bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, got a low interest loan to bring in a taxi and pay 0 duty, 100% duty free because of the concessions we created.
Finance Minister Camilo Gonsalves is again encouraging people to position themselves to take advantage of opportunities created by government. He noted some have already done so, but more people need to get on board.
When we have prime, when we have on-site, when we talk about tourism, when we talk about construction, we said that a boom in construction was coming in this country. Some contractors suck their teeth. Some contractors say, well, we go see if I get anything out of it, but only certain people does get, and so on and so forth. And then other contractors went out and bought new equipment. They bought additional bulldozers, additional backhoe, additional excavators, additional rollers. And those contractors now are able to take advantage of the construction boom that we said was coming. So the ones who listened and believed and saw opportunities for themselves to grow, they are the ones who are reaping the benefits now.
And opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday says the young people in this country must understand that the future is theirs and it is up to them to make the decision that is best for them going forward. Dr. Friday was speaking on his party's radio program on Monday.
I know that things are not easy for young people in this country. In fact, that is putting it mildly. Things are extremely difficult. We have an existential crisis of hope, lack of hope, and lack of opportunity for our young people. With over 40% unemployed, with so many of them can't get the skills that they need to get jobs here in this country. So many are losing hope. So many have lost hope. So many have gone to seek greener pastures elsewhere. And I mean, I'm talking about Canada and the United States. I'm talking about the rest of the Caribbean. They're going to Barbados. They're going to Antigua. They're going to St. Kitts because they get better paid there. They get better opportunities there. We are being left behind. And never mind what the people in this government have been telling you. You can see it all around you. We can see it all around us. The dereliction, the state of disrepair in our roads. I heard you talking about that earlier, Colin. The state of our roads. I am absolutely fed up of talking about them in my own constituency here. You know, all I hope and pray for every day is that there is no serious accident where somebody pays the price for the neglect, the wanton neglect of this government. Pay the price, that I mean with injury or damage to their property, their vehicles. I pray for that every day that the state of the roads in this country would not, and certainly in my constituency, would not result in that. Because that's certainly where it would appear to lead. So, Colin, there's a lot for us to hold this government accountable for. And you know that's one of the things that we have, over the years, sought to do.
Dr. Friday says that there are also a number of challenges facing the local business community, which is struggling under the current administration, which seems not to understand its role in respect to providing an enabling environment for businesses to strive.
The government should not be competing with local businesses. Government should not be holding a grudge against local business people and trying to oppress rather than assist them. Government should not see the profits or the success as local businesses as a threat to any individual politician. There should not be grudge people who work hard to bring their ideas to fruition, to make businesses work in this very difficult environment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They should not begrudge people that and say, well, listen, they have to bring them to heel. That's the sort of stuff that happens in Russia. It shouldn't be happening here in St. Vincent. We don't have an oligarchy that is allowed to prosper by a political leadership. We have a free society in which government has a role to facilitate the local private sector. Colin, as it is now, the local private sector complains that its interests are not being represented by the present government. And we know this. The process and the procedures and the cost of doing business in this country seems to be getting worse every day. The uncertainty, that's one thing that businesses require, is certainty in terms of the implementation of the laws, and also security in terms of the conditions of life within the country. They must also be able to rely that government policies will be applied fairly and equally to everybody. What we know now is that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we rank by the World Bank, the most recent World Bank ranking, 130th in the world in terms of ease of doing business. That means there are 129 countries out of 190, I think they ranked, that it is better or easier to do business in than St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, why should it be so difficult to set up a business in a country as small as St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
The opposition leader says under an NDP government, they will ensure they engage the local business community to find solutions to any challenge they may be facing.
We are going to have not just our own ideas brought to the table, but we have to have a conversation with the local business people. Here is this, Colin. If you want to do something for agriculture, as a minister of agriculture, who you should talk to? Just the people in your office? No, you talk to the farmers. If you want to do something for our fishing industry, which we need to do, no. You're going to talk to just the people in the Ministry of Fisheries? No, you have to talk to the fisher folk because they're the ones who are there, they're stakeholders more than anybody else. If you're going to talk about the difficulties of the construction industry, you have to talk to the builders, you have to talk to the building contractors to find out what the challenges are and how government can make them better. If you want to talk, you want to help the business community because you say things are not going the way they should be. Even the minister of finance in his budget presentation was chiding the business community, saying, well, listen, we have opportunities galore coming. But if you don't want to take advantage of them, then there are others who will. Rather than saying, listen, our role is to ensure, to help the local business community, to be ready for whatever opportunities come, to embrace them, so that you can have a good partnership, which is necessary to grow our economy, to build confidence in the business community, that no matter your politics, what we are looking forward here is for the benefit of the country. What we have here now, Colin, feels more, it's not an embracing of the business community by the present government. It's like an uncomfortable compromise on the part of the government that they feel that maybe it's necessary at some point to engage the local private sector. But if they could do without them, they'd rather do so. That's what it seems to be.
Jet skiing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not allowed. However, some persons in the tourism sector are of the view that it will boost the sector. Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves begs to differ. Asked on radio if the ban will be lifted, the Prime Minister said he is yet to be persuaded on how it can be properly regulated.
I don't support jet skis. I tell you plain up front, I don't support jet skis. I need to be persuaded that people who would use jet skis, that it could be properly regulated. And at the moment, we have any difficulty properly regulating activity on the beach. There are several places which have jet skis. People turn away from the places because when you bathe in, bring the jet skis in between. Dangerous. So I know some different persons in the tourism sector, but I am telling you personally, I'm opposed to jet skis because I don't think that we'll be able to regulate them properly. So
The Prime Minister said that the safety of people on the beach is a major concern of his.
that okay, you could say that you put
In a zone, yeah,
some
a zone
particular
area.
beach. This idea putting a marker that they can't come in, you'll have to hire so many people to police that they don't worth it. It's like you have to have traffic police. There are people riding the jet skis going to want to show off themselves and come inside where people bathing. You know that and I know that. I've seen it happen in countries which have jet skis. There are some people who say, well, there's some areas where you don't bathe at all. Let's say somewhere down in North Leeward, some beach where people, the nature of it, do the jet skis and enjoy their sport. They're going passing by where people bathe in they might go Mount Twin. They might go inside the Cumberland where people bathe in. You see where I'm coming from?
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, the SVGCC, has launched its inaugural Welcome to the World of Work WOW program through its newly established Center for General and Continuing Education, CGCE. The college in the news release says the initiative is tailored specifically for final year students and is designed to equip participants with essential skills and knowledge necessary for success in the professional realm. For the first iteration of WOW, students from the Division of Arts, Science and General Studies were targeted, considering that their programs are traditionally oriented towards classroom learning in contrast to other divisions which facilitate more field-based learning experiences. Over the past few weeks, participants have actively engaged in a series of workshops covering a range of topics, including resume writing, interview preparation, business communication, and soft skills development. The college says the multifaceted program will culminate in a highly anticipated recruitment fair scheduled to take place at its Villa campus on Thursday, the 4th April 2024 from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The release says the event is open to final year students from all SVGCC divisions and will serve as a dynamic platform for connecting talented and motivated students with forward-thinking companies that value innovation, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. According to the SVGCC, the launch of the WOW program underscores its dedication to preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of the modern workforce, noting that by bridging the gap between academia and industry, the SVGCC aims to empower students to achieve their professional aspirations and make meaningful contributions to society. A showcase of the Women's Empowerment Project was hosted here today at the parking lot of the High Court building in capital Kingstown. The showcase was hosted by the Taiwan Embassy and the Taiwan Technical Mission. Chair of the opening of the showcase, Keisha Phillips, told the gathering that the Women Empowerment Project, supported by the government of SVG, and the government of China on Taiwan came at an opportune time for the country and its participants.
It came at a time when we were trying to fit our lives back together following the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano in 2021. And at a time when we were also trying to deal with the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the 2-year period that this project ran from 2021 to 2023, over 300 women from different walks of life in St. Vincent and the Grenadines benefited from the different components of this program. Along with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, through the Ministry of Finance, via the Center for Enterprise Development, the Ministry of Education, via the Adult and Continuing Education Department, and the Ministry of National Mobilization. Our government had a wonderful opportunity with the help and support of the government and people of Taiwan to give our women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines hope, to help those who are already in business to have something to help them to re-establish themselves after the impact of the volcano, and those who were disadvantaged, whether via unemployment or other circumstances, to think of something or to be able to bring their ideas to life via the opportunities provided. Our women were exposed to months of training in various aspects that led to improvements in their personal development, in their business management skills, in having access to some financial aid. And since the completion of the project, we're happy that we can boast that many of these women have since grown and expanded their business operations.
Phillips noted that the Women's Empowerment Project paves the way for the participants to access further financing to develop their businesses. Taiwan's ambassador to SVG, Her Excellency Fiona Chung Fan, congratulated the 50 participants of the Women Empowerment Project for unlocking their true potential with their business.
You have set up a role model for the future generations. For that, let's give ourselves a big round of applause. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Ministers Brewster, Minister King, and Minister Camilo Gonçalves, and their esteemed ministries. Today's success wouldn't be possible without the contributions of the colleagues from these ministries. Together with my Taiwan Technical Mission, I've learned that they have organized 40 meetings along these 2 years for the coordinations. Thank you for all the colleagues. It is a great pleasure to witness the remarkable journey of the Women Empowerment Projects. These collaborative endeavors unite St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Republic of China on Taiwan strongly together. We emphasize a comprehensive approach to uplift women and young generations. It is also served as a catalyst for the stability and prosperity of our society. The Women Empowerment Project is designed to touch base with individual women, providing them with the tools, resources, and opportunity necessary to open previously closed doors. Through 16 vocational training courses, we have empowered 306 female graduates with a diverse set of skills ranging from hotel hospitality and beauty treatments and sewing and computer maintenance. You will witness their achievement.
Minister of National Mobilization et al., Dr. Orlando Brewster, who also addressed the showcase opening ceremony, said he was happy to be part of the event to celebrate the achievements of the women involved in the project.
One of the significant segment of this Women's empowerment project was the startup businesses that we are seeing here today. Some of them are on display. And not only did we have the businesses coming on stream, but a number of women across the length and breadth of St. Vincent gained valuable skills in the different areas. An example is the hotel and tourism industry. And there are success stories, because I can tell you about a young lady who hails from Bokomet, who was a part of this program, who went through this program, who was a part of the hospitality segment of this program, and is now employed at Sandals in their spa. And this is only one, because there are many more persons who came through this program who have benefited tremendously. And I want us to take note that the benefits derived are not only individual benefits, but they're beneficial to a family somewhere in the rural community of Rose Hall, or somewhere up north in Sandy Bay. And in turn, this program has touched lives and livelihoods of.
Dr. Brewster further told the ceremony that over the years, his government has made strides beyond leaps and bounds to empower women.
So now we have a gender affairs division. And I noticed the chairperson mentioned about we're doing so much for women, and what about the men? And in order for us to achieve gender equality, we cannot let the women lead and the men follow, but we have to make sure that we create a balance. And as the minister with that responsibility, I have to make sure that I put in the work, not only for the men, because I'm happy, not only for the women, sorry, because I'm happy and I'm delighted that today we have a number of women-led business in our country. But also, we have to make sure that we bring along our males. And through the ministry, there are various programs and initiatives, staffing with programs for those who are affected by teenage pregnancy. And I have to highlight these things because it's part and parcel of empowering our women and girls here in St. Vincent. And they've done tremendous work. This program, for example, the Teen Mothers Program, it has resulted, I looked recently at the stats to see that the percentage of teenage pregnancy that they are coming down, and that is a remarkable achievement of the ministry. There's also the YES program, and I said the last cohort we got, majority of the applicants are women. So we are doing a lot for women in this country.
At the showcase, some of the women involved in the Women Empowerment Project shared a bit about their products and their success stories.
My name is Beverly Frederick. I am the producer of pepper sauce. It's Bevy's pepper sauce and also Bevy's flavored pepper sauce. Well, I just wanted something different on the market, and you know, on my checks looking around and in the various supermarkets, I realized that, you know, it is not popular, so hence the reason for me doing that.
I'm Eunice Pierre. My business is located at Battery Hill, downtown. I'm into Edo chips, plantain chips. Well, first I was trained by a company in Trinidad. And then I decided now to go on my own. So I started it. And here I am, still in it. It's different supermarkets, small shops. Also, I send them to Anguilla and Tortola. Yes, and they are down into the Grenadines. Some of the hotels and support buy them from me.
Well, when I start this line, it was a new beginning for me. So I just used the initial of my name and it was a new beginning. So I gave it name AJW New Beginning. Well, I carry a line of products. I carry guava jelly, banana bread, sweet bread, damsel stew, peanut cake, sugar cake, tamarind ball, fudge, salted and unsalted nut, local juice, cheesecake. I carry a line of products. Most demanded product for me is the peanut cake and the granny sugar cake. It was a passion. It was a passion from a young age as a child. I be around my aunt and others, see they do these, and then I was a police officer for 22 years. So 22 years. When I retired in 2021, I go straight into this field, and these are the products I choose to do.
I am Kane's Amazing Cake. I'm the owner, and what we specialize in is cake decorating supplies and customized cakes. We do cakes for any occasion, birthdays, weddings, anniversary, anything that you can think of. We also specialize in edible printing. We do printing for anything that you desire, and the papers are edible, 100% edible. You can eat them. We market mostly to other cake decorators because we sell cake supplies. We sell a range of cake supplies, cake pans, cake dummies, and we also do rentals for wedding. We do wedding cake stand rentals and much more.
Navigating mental health challenges, a social worker with the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Shimano Bailey, has said that more people are experiencing mental health issues as a result of being isolated during the COVID-19 pandemic. On the Police Beat program last evening, discussing the topic Navigating Mental Health Challenges, Bailey explained that because of the mandatory isolation, a number of people relied heavily on social media to express their feelings, and with the relaxing of the rules, things have changed drastically for them.
When we were locked down, the whole world was locked down. I think persons were now feeling the ability to use social media to talk about how they're feeling. We saw where athletes were talking about the issues and struggles in terms of their getting the track. They're not able to perform on the track. They're not able to go out and run. They're not able to swim. And it was a topic that started blowing up. So I think persons felt more comfortable coming and seeking help. So I won't say that, yes, there was an increase, yes, but I believe persons felt more comfortable to come and speak about what they were actually going through because they see social media is a very powerful platform. And they saw their idols there, someone that they look up to, now talking about them, their issues, and being vulnerable to the rest of the world. So it kind of gave them the confidence to want to seek the help that they think that they needed throughout the pandemic experience.
Another social worker, Kevin Glasgow, said it is important for people to navigate their emotions, including how to respond to particular situations.
For persons to understand human emotion is not that gender-based. And we need to understand that our emotions are core, and when we allow things to lie low, they fester. And when they fester, in the clinical sense, there's a pus, and then there's inflammation. And there is research that is saying a lot of mood disorders, a lot of psychosocial issues or feelings there be are correlating with the formation of inflammation physically. So the psychosocial or psychological issues that are there that are not expressed, they are impacting the individual. And I like to say it this way, it's not just what you eat, but what's eating you. And a lot of emotions, bitterness, a lot of anger, resentment, unforgiveness, it's all there, and it's eating us at the core. And then there's a lot of psychosomatic symptoms, and there's also a lot of actual physical symptoms, where muscle problem, heart issues.
On overcoming mental health challenges, Bailey said despite it being scary, people should allow themselves to be vulnerable and to take a leap of faith to improve their mental health.
We have to take that leap of faith to say, I need help. I'm battling something, I can't do it alone. I need to speak to somebody, a professional, to get that help that I need in order to deal with my mental health. We all have different self-care routines that we encounter. One would not fit all, but we have to find what is it that fits for us, what works for us, and we use that, and we'll be amazed of what happens. In terms of, last in terms of talking about the exercise, there's simple things that we can do. Maybe you walk in an office, maybe you can just stand up a couple of times, stand, sit, and you'll be amazed of that little exercise that you do, the impact it will have on your mental health. So we need to be vulnerable, we need to have this conversation more, and we need to start to change the dynamic, to change the culture when it comes to mental health.
Mental health encompasses emotional, psychological, and social well-being, influencing cognition, perception, and behavior.